Hey, Dr. Jones again, here talking about the ketogenic diet versus the paleo diet and trying to help y'all make sense of which one may be best for you. There are more similarities than you may think, and that's the kind of stuff I want to talk about today. But just to recap real quick from yesterday, we discussed the ketogenic diet is low carb, high fat, and this is very, very good to help control blood sugar. Of course, the issue with diabetes is that you have too much sugar in the blood, it can't get into the cell. And when you reduce sugars, carbohydrates in the diet, you're actually improving your diabetes if you have that, or maybe you have pre-diabetes, but you can improve it naturally that way by reducing carbs. Now, it doesn't mean you go without any carbs, but you reduce them. This can help dramatically. So here on the slide, the true ketogenic diet on the left is 90% fat and only 2% carbohydrates, with 8% being protein on average. This is only necessary for severe neurological issues like epilepsy, epileptic seizures. Okay, research has shown that most people do not have to go to that drastic measure. For instance, the true ketogenic diet on the left, you're taking in less than 20 grams of carbs a day. Not necessary for everybody, not necessary for you to achieve nutritional ketosis, which we'll talk about more in a little bit, but to receive the fat burning enhancements and the increased fat burning metabolism, you don't have to go that extreme. Now, the modified ketogenic diet in the middle is a little bit easier to do, but still something you have to be mindful of. About 6% carbs and about 64%, 65% fat intake, with about 30% being protein. This is going to be much easier on an individual. I do recommend counting calories and counting macros for about a week to get a good idea. I hate doing that. I don't like recommending it typically, but in this case, to help you accomplish this nutritional ketosis, I think it's a good idea. And those carbs will add up a lot quicker than you think. So it's good to keep track and be mindful, at least for a week, to get a better idea. On the right side is the standard American diet. Paleo is fairly similar. Paleo is about 30% protein, 30% carbs, with about 40% on average being from fat. There's a lot of variance in paleo. It's not an exact science. But the similarities between keto and paleo. Paleo's main principle is choosing nutrient-dense foods. What does that mean? That means foods that are very nutritious, have a lot of vitamins and nutrients in them, versus things like processed foods that has a lot of negative health benefits and inflammatory and typically synthetic vitamins. Nutrient-dense foods have a lot of nutrients naturally, like spinach and kale and healthy chicken and things like that. So the similarities, I would say keto focuses on that as well. You should choose nutrient-dense foods no matter what diet you're following. Here is a kind of a food guide pyramid for a well-formulated ketogenic diet. As you see at the bottom, a lot of healthy fats: avocado, coconut oil, grass-fed butter, pasture-raised eggs, extra virgin olive oil, and coconut oil. And at the top, your sugars. So very, very low on sugars. You see antioxidants is the second biggest category, so that's mainly your fruits and vegetables. Choosing foods that are very nutritious in the sense of bright colors. This is always a good thing to, as they say, eat from the rainbow. Pick foods that are very colorful. This shows that they have more nutrition and nutrients and vitamins in them. Which fats to eat versus which ones you should avoid. As you can see here, you want to concentrate on moderate amounts of saturated fat. That's like coconut oil, some of your animal fats. These should be in moderation. And actually, those are better for high heat cooking versus more of the plant oils like olive oil, better to use after you cook. Better to put on vegetables and salads after you've heated the fat or the vegetables. Which to eat, so, you know, nuts and seeds and avocados, there's flaxseed oil, olive oil, all these things are fantastic. But you want to watch out for the margarine. You want to watch out for the hydrogenated fats, trans fats, obviously, canola oil, corn oil, soybean oil. Watch the labels. You'll learn pretty quick. There's a lot of foods, processed foods especially, that use these cheaper oils, and they're more inflammatory. So watch out for those. Healthy fats do not make us fat. Healthy fats actually nourish our central nervous system, our brain, which is about 60% fat. It's very important that we get enough healthy fats. Okay, so 4 steps to keto. You want to reduce sugars and grains, no question. That's what it's all about. Low carb, high fat, reducing sugars and grains. Add more good fats. Obviously, get rid of the bad fats. Change the meat that you eat. You want to find good lean protein. It can be fatty protein as well. Fatty beef is good in moderation. And then increase your water, but not while eating. You don't want to dilute the enzymes in the food, and that's what happens if you eat or drink a lot of water while you're eating. Now, health benefits and what is a ketogenic diet good for? Again, the research has shown overwhelmingly that folks with prediabetes and diabetes, as well as people that are overweight or obese, people that want to lose weight, the ketogenic diet is a great tool to help you accomplish your health goals. This particular study in the Journal of American Medical Association found the prevalence of prediabetes was 37%, at about 37%, and 49 to 50% of the population was estimated to have either diabetes or pre-diabetes. This is out of control. And when you think about how much sugar people are taking in, it kind of starts to make sense. There is just an abundance of sugar in the standard American diet, and this is contributing to health issues. It increases inflammation, and unfortunately is leading a lot of people to heart disease and down the diabetic road. So this is a very interesting study. A ketogenic diet, which is low carb, high fat, versus a low fat diet. And what they found was the ketogenic diet in red improved all markers for metabolic syndrome better than a low fat diet. You see the one sticking up there, the red and HDL, and actually the ketogenic diet, high fat diet, actually improved healthy cholesterol in this study. It says 3 months, 40 subjects with metabolic syndrome, and there was much more improvement in their blood markers for the folks that were on the ketogenic diet versus a low-fat diet. I've seen clinically, I've had patients show me their blood work from their medical doctors after being on the ketogenic diet, actually reducing their lipid panel. So cholesterol, LDLs, HDLs were dropping and actually significantly better in most cases after being on the ketogenic diet. Again, fats don't make you fat. They actually improve your fat metabolism. All right. So benefits is obviously it helps burn more fat and build lean body tissue. You improve mental focus. When I was strict with keto for a month, my mental focus and concentration was better. So some people say brain fog. I noticed a dramatic improvement in less brain fog and more mental clarity. Your blood sugar stability is going to improve because of the low carb nature of the diet. You're going to reduce pain and inflammation. You know, carbs, especially processed sugary carbs, promotes inflammation. Okay, so when you reduce that, you get a reduction in pain and joint pain and stiffness and inflammation, and you reduce the risk of chronic disease, as shown in the previous slide with the ketogenic diet. Now, Getting into the specifics, nutritional ketosis is what you're going for. And there's a little bit of variation in this. Some scientists say it's at 1.5 to 3 millimolars that you're in the optimal zone. Some will say 1 to 3 millimolars. But this is the true measure of if you're in nutritional ketosis or not. And so typically from the research that I've read, 1 to 3 is where 1 to 3 millimolar is where you should feel optimal in terms of being in nutritional ketosis. So how do you check that? The best way is the blood test. You can buy a glucometer and blood strips, and the bad thing is you have to prick your skin to get a little blood, but that can measure the amount of ketones in the blood and give you that reading to let you know where you're at. The urine testing, not as accurate, but it is cheaper. It is a little easier. And then there is a breath test that's pretty expensive, but those can be helpful as well. So, all right. That is all. Again, to recap, paleo diet, those principles of high density antioxidant-rich foods, that carries over into the ketogenic diet. You still want to choose those types of foods. It's just modifying it and having it be a little bit heavier on the healthy fats and fats in general, and lower in carb when you're on the ketogenic diet. I believe both are fantastic. It just kind of depends on your health goals. So if you have questions, please don't hesitate to comment below. And if you would like to consult about this, find on my Facebook page where you can schedule a free consult with me. Click that link and you can schedule that initial free consult. Thanks for watching.